Alright guys, this is going to be part 2 now of my little Highbanker build. Alright, so what have I done since last time? I was going to weld bits of aluminium on the back here, but I just don't have the time to do it, or the equipment. That'll be a project for another time possibly. So all I've done is just put a bit of fence paling on there and siliconed and screwed it in place. Same with down this end. Just a bit of timber. Just thinking about how I'm going to hold this mat down. So what I've done, just got a bit of punch plate with a bolt that's holding the mat. So all I've done so far is run a bit of water. I just wanted to see if it actually worked. What I'm running is a 1100 gallon pump. It seems to be going okay, but the true test will be in a minute. I haven't run anything through it. As you can see, there's a few little bits of aluminium and bits and pieces where I've drilled in those cells, but I actually haven't run anything through. Just running a 1 inch. I've just screwed in the punch plate up here, goes off the end. I've just got a brick holding the pipe so it doesn't go flying. So what I'm going to run through it. So what I've got here in this pan is just some heavies, and then when I just pull this back, that's all black sand. Just pan this down for a second. So there's some black sand, and there's also some, if I can find it, it's over here. There's some lead shot. Yeah, there is, a speck of gold just there. So there's a little couple of specks of gold. This is just cons from El Dorado. And also what I've got here is some other stuff that I've panned off at some stage. So what I'll do, I'll turn this pump on. Well, that's not going to be any good. Nearly tipped the whole thing over. Now the sluice itself is set at 9 degrees. Alright, so that's the water going in, and that's the water falling off. There doesn't seem to be anything leaking out the back, which is good. So what I'll do, I'll just get a bit of this material. It's not much, bugger all actually. I'll just drop it down. Now, as you can see, like I said, these are all cons, they're all heavy. So they're getting stuck in the cell. There's some getting stuck up here in this punch plate as well. What I'll do is I'll grab a scoop of this. Hopefully you're going to hear me over this noise. So I'll get a bit more than that. See if we can dump a bit in there. So I'll just dump a whole scoop like that in and see what happens. Now obviously I've only got about, I don't know, 11 litres. But I'm sort of quite happy with that. I'll just see what's going on up here because I just dumped it. Alright, so that's cleared out. I'll grab another big scoop of this stuff and just show you this end. But this is all I did, just dumped it in. That stuff's going through the punch plate. Obviously if I had other material that was a bit bigger, and I should have some somewhere, but that's only 1100 meters, 1100 gallon pump, so it's only small. It's probably the minimum that you'd want to run one of these at, but just get a little bit more to throw in there. So you can see that bit of clay mud is getting washed away. Now, I don't have a big amount of angle on the hopper itself. Like, it might seem like it's a lot there, if you can make that out. But the punch plate's not as... The punch plate in there is on a bit less of an angle. And obviously one of these little mini bankers, you don't have an extreme amount. You know, you can't run 1,000,000 tons of water through it, because all you know is just flush your gold out. So obviously that's just going to stay brown now because of the mud that's in here. I'll turn this thing off. We'll have a look and see what's going on, if it's clearing out or what's happening. Probably need to run some fresh water through that. Now, I've got a little bit of material stuck in there, and that'll be good. That'll catch some gemstones, that punch plate up there. Now this isn't totally clearing out. Probably one of the reasons is I'm just sucking up the mud through the pump again and pumping it through. So I'd need to maybe empty this bucket and then run some more water through there. What I might do, alright, what I might do is I'll just chuck the bilge pump into this bucket where I've got some water and just run some fresh water through for a minute, and then see if that clears these cells out a bit. Alright, give me a second, I'll just set that up. Alright guys, so I filled that bucket up. I'll start this pump again, and what I've got is 20 litres of water. Hopefully it's going to be, and I've got 9 litre watering can here that I'll put in as well. I'll just tip that into the bucket. So I'll start this pump off. As that's going down, I'll just slowly feed this off. Now, I'm not adding any extra water, it's just the pump. 1100 litres, or 1100 gallons. I'll just let this finish off. Alright, that's it. It's about 30 litres of water. Take the battery off. Alright, so hopefully I've shown that when it was flowing down there, it was nice and even. That punch plate, as it's going over that punch plate before it gets to the mat, it's evening the water out. I was going to put a flap in here to level the water out, but I'm quite happy with the way that's working. Now I'll just take this brick off. Alright, so the mat hasn't totally cleared off, but it's cleared off enough with the 1100 gallons that I'm happy. I could probably put a bit more angle, but as I said, this is all heavies. Pretty much all that material was all the stuff that I've panned off previously. This was in another video where I had a bucket of clay and muck. That was the muck that was left over. Yeah, so as a first test, I'm quite happy with that. Got a couple little bits caught just there in the punch plate, but obviously when I spoke about this yesterday and the pump, I talked about a 3,000 gallon pump. They're a nice little lightweight 1-inch pump. Yep, 3,000 gallons overkill for one of these, but then you're not running that flat out. You turn that down to suit. But what it is, it's a 9 kilo pump. 9 kilo pump. That sluice is probably going to weigh in at about 5 kilos. So there's 15 by the time you've got a shovel, your pan and that, maybe a pick or something. You're probably going to only be carrying about 30 kilos in. Otherwise, you can use a small battery, and I'd use the 2,000 gallon pump. But yeah, if you got any ideas on how you guys hold this in, I've got to think about that now. That's my next little project. I'll probably just use some sort of downpipe thing and just run it straight across here. As I said, like at the moment, it's got a bit of wire, but that wasn't holding the pump where I needed it, or this tube where I needed it. Needed to be lower. So yeah, until the next time, might have some legs on it if I do a third one of these. Otherwise, next time you'll see this run will hopefully be at the outing. Alright, catch you all later.